At this moment, I want to say welcome. Welcome on board. Welcome on live with me. And I trust God that He's going to do something remarkable at this moment. And I want to say, please, let's be attentive to what we will be hearing. As you know, our interest is building healthy relationship and seeing the family, the home front is actually working the way God desire it. We all know the season that we find ourselves is holiday season when people take on vacation, holiday, all kinds of holiday, various parts of the world as they can afford. Some also have to travel to nearby cities, nearby villages. But the most important thing is the joy of the home, despite where you go to, despite where you travel to. It's very important that sanity be maintained at home. And this is also preparation for Christmas that we know many people will be busy one way or the other trying to do or meet up to one expectation or the other. And so, in light of that, because the family and the joy of the family is of particular interest to me, to Heart Talk Zone with Tina Okonji, so we want to always throw lights in every area we can just to make sure that people are, experiencing the joy of living. All right? People experiencing the joy of living is of utmost importance to us, and we do not want to joke with it. So, looking at today's topic, differentiating between, the needs and the wants at Christmas, differentiating the needs and the wants at various time in our life. All right, people run into deep trouble, I must say, because they do not know to differentiate, what they need and what they do not need. Thank you for the thumb up. All right, welcome. God bless you, and make sure you give us a subscription. And so we try as much as possible to make people and to make people see that there is no need to really get into too much trouble. Yesterday we talked about budgeting, and we discovered that if you do not know to budget, especially the finances has come into your, or it comes your way or come into your hands, you just discover that you're going to run into so much trouble. And then life itself is meant so beautiful that if you are succeeding to some extent in one business, welcome, thank you. You can also even succeed more by, expanding, putting monies or putting resources, capital that have been saved from the previous business into another business. So there's nothing wrong in expanding our business, and this can only come when we have proper understanding of how to go about budgeting, and knowing that budgeting is also very, very important. So our interest for today is because Christmas is coming through, and many other things aside from Christmas, is coming. People have to differentiate to know the difference between what they need to get it and then what that is just a want. In the world that we find ourselves today, we advise people not to go for wants. Wants is just, you can want anything. You can want the whole world. I can want to have, I want a private jet. I want a bigger house for myself. I want a new cloth. I want everything. I want to eat the best of food I want. But if it's something we can do without for the moment, that is a want. And then people have to understand to go for the want, to go for, what they need. People have to understand to go for the need instead of the want, because it is essential. The needs are essential or very, very important than just the wants. You can live without the want. You can actually live without a desire But sometimes, thank you, Consiglor. I appreciate your coming all the time. God bless you. So people should know, thank you. People should know how to differentiate between the wants and the need. This is Christmas. Everybody wants everything. My little girl will tell me, Mommy, I want this. Mommy, her lists are endless. She just wants everything. But I know what she need. And I told her I'm going to get her what she need. Her other ones can wait until the extras come. So if families, I remember I was asking my husband for something and he said, baby, that's not a need for the moment. And I sat back and I reasoned it out. And after reasoning, I discovered it's actually not a need. It's a want. And so I made up my mind to say, okay, let's go for what we need. All right, so it's very important and very expedient. The family should know what they need and go for the need and not just the wants. Wants, you know, it's what you get that make you feel good. You just want to feel good. I want an ice cream. I want to eat the fish, you know, roasted fish. I want this and I want that, but do I really need it? So if we know how to differentiate between these two, we discover that we will have less problems in the family. All right? Wants are what we wish. We, like I said earlier, I just keep wishing, you know, to always want to have, but you don't need them. Example, you have, because thank you. All right, if you want burger and you can afford it, you know, you can go for it. But if there are other pressing need, actually, that you know you need to meet, and then that burger you can make a sacrifice so as you can get your need, then please, you can sacrifice and just take care of your appetite with other things and then go for the needs. Sometimes we've had a situation, you know, someone is in the hospital and there are other things we care about our needs. Yeah, it's very important. Thank you for the contribution. I appreciate it. All right, it's it's who cares about all about needs. No, needs is very important. Needs are those things that you must do with that you can't do without. Yes. Like the Bible tells us, which we are going to be looking at very soon in Psalm 37 or so, verse 4. It said, delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your hearts. And your desire is actually that need. You understand? So needs are very, very important. Thank you. I understand. That made me to laugh too. Needs are very, very necessary. Someone, you know, is talking about, you know, I need to go and fix this car right now. His car is a necessity. It's very, very important. But he needs to pay the rentage of the house. And you now ask yourself, what does he do first? You discover that having a roof over your head is more important, and I mean very, very important, than just, you know, getting to fix that car and there is no, you know, house or roof over your head. For example, you already have a particular thing. Why desiring to have like two of it? It is no longer a need. It becomes a want. I have seen someone that have a particular cloth. You have a particular dress. Thank you and welcome. And it desires to have more of that dress. If you have that particular shade of clothes, and then there's no need to have two of it. One is very, very okay to have. So we keep telling people, go for the what need. Do not go for what the what wants. We want everything. We want to eat goat's meat at Christmas. We want to eat turkey. We want to eat chicken. We want to eat everything. We want to eat beef. We want to eat. But are those things really what we want? Everybody wants a new dress. And then possibly the breadwinner or the father or mother of the home is saying, Right now, at this moment, we don't need a new dress. We can make do with what we had in the time past. Please, our concern is the home front, the family. Do not, please, insist on having that clothes to the detriment of the necessary need at the moment. Yesterday I talked about immediately is a few days after Christmas, everybody will be thinking about paying for school fee for the younger, those one people that have younger children. You will think about the school fee that needs to be paid. Possibly someone needs to move into another apartment. There are many other things that need to be done. We can't squander everything. We can't squander all the savings, meeting up to getting only our wants and not thinking about what is ahead of us immediately after Christmas. So it's very important that we make a priority list, prioritize what do you want at each point. It's not just because it's Christmas that I'm saying this. The truth of the matter is that at each point in time, in life per time, we are supposed to sit back and think about the things that are very necessary, the things that we can do without our wants. The needs are the things that we know that we cannot do without. Through the Bible time, we discover people that went for wants, they always miss it and they don't fulfill destiny. Let's give an example of the sons of the prophet Eli. The two sons of the prophet Eli would desire for things once. They want the women, at the temple gates. They want to eat from the fattenings, that is the fat meat that, from the sacrifices or slaughter meats at the temple. They want everything. There are many other people in the Bible that just want Absalom, wanted the father's throne. They just want, so many things. I just want this, I just want that, I want this. All of them did not make it. The children of Israel, the church in the wilderness, when they were going through the experience of the wilderness, they wanted to go back to Egypt. They kept murmuring. They were not understanding. And when God is dealing with us, truly, one thing that we should know is that he desired to deal with us and kill everything that looks like, want. And he wants us to go for the desires. What is it? That which he wants to give to us that will be necessary of help to us. Okay? God does not want to meet, wants. God says in his word, delight yourself doing what I desire of you, and I will grant the desires of your heart. So like we said earlier, what needs are the things that we require something, because it is essential or very important rather than just desirable. At each point in time, we are expected to go for the needs and not the wants. Thank you for coming. Please don't forget to give a thumb up and subscription if you haven't done so. Our interest is to see that relationship are working as expected in the home front. All right, what makes you feel good at each point? Like Girl TV was saying us that she desire for a burger right now, or she wants a burger right now. And I told her, okay, yes, you can have it if you desire it, but the most important thing is that you should always, go for what is very necessary. Someone was saying us that sometimes we just don't want to quench the test. The test of anything is only from here to here. And whatever you are eating, after it has passed here, you don't know the test anymore. Yeah, so not just go for what we want to satisfy your tongue. Go for what it's really a need. You can do without a want, but a need, most cases and most of the time, we cannot do without the what? Need. Needs are very important. For instance, someone is in the hospital and they require medical bills. It's a need. It's expected that whatever you have saved up over time, you should be able to give up and honestly go and give in that funds to save a life. That is a need. Sometimes it's good, like I always preach, go on vacation with your family. But if you know that there is some other pressing needs that you need that money for, you can sacrifice that want of going on a vacation and meet the need for the moment. You can do without a want, but you cannot, like I said, do without what? A need. All right? Things that are not wants, that things that are not wants. Let's look at them. A man came to me one time and said to me, well, you are a pastor, but right now, thank you for staying. God bless you. Please give me a thumb up and subscription. My interest in a relationship of working and family is also working. All right. And he says to me, I want to marry a second wife because my wife troubles me a lot. And I said, all right, what does she do? She does things that you do not like. Have you tried to see how that problem can be solved or that issue? He said, no, 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 no. I have already made up my decision to pick another wife in her state. And I said, well, as it is this moment, a next wife is not a need. Having a next wife is not a need. It's a want because you want to satisfy yourself at that moment. Eventually, if it's not well handled, could also cause you some problem. When you already have a wife, like I said, if you already have something, wanting to have another that looks like it is trying to have more of your wants. I said, marrying a new wife when you already have one, it is a want and not a desire or need at the moment because you can do actually without the second. Another thing that is a want, all right, and it's not a need, is having an extra car when you already have one or two cars. Yeah, cars are necessity. Mobility is everything good and sweet. But if you already have one, two cars, for the cost of even fueling in our world today, is extra expenditure, except if you're going to sell or give out one of the cars and then purchase another one. It is quite understanding, it is perfect to do that. But if you are going to purchase a car and add to what you already have, makes it 3, 4, then it's a want and it does not satisfy. I talked about the woman having extra wife. Solomon, was a man that wanted so many other women. And it was like him trying to satisfy his want. And at the end of the day, those women, drove him and pushed him far away from God, pushed him far from focus. We saw the life of Samson that was cut short because he wanted the other woman. Always go for the one. Thank you. I can see you. You are welcome. Please don't forget to give me a subscription. I want your contribution to this topic of discourse. Thank you so very much. All right. So we always would desire for people to go for needs. The important needs is Christmas. It's not like it used to be in the time past. Things have become, somewhat a little more difficult. And because things have become somewhat a little more difficult, it is expected that we apply our God-given wisdom and know what is required and what is needed, and make sure that we give into what is needed and not just what we want. You don't stress yourself so much trying to meet the need of the wants of everyone. I am from a very large family, from a polygamous family, and I happen to be the first child among 12 children. I know the funniest part. Everyone giving, the opportunity, we want you to get this, auntie, I want this, aunt, I want that. I want this and I want that. So many things, so many wants. At some point, and I told myself, no, it can't be. Or else I overstretch myself beyond limits. A lot of fathers of homes, what happened is that their relation, we call them, they need this, they need that, they need food, they need the meats, they need everything. There is always one need or the other. From the in-laws part, they need this, they need that. His own children also need this. He himself also have his own need. So much demand on the head of the family, especially the man, from both his in-laws, both his wife, the children, his own direct relation has a definite way of, causing the man to go into some pressure, which might not be healthy for the health of the man. And so you discover a lot of men go into, one crisis or the other with their health because they don't want to fail their family people, but they put them into so much duress that you see they begin to have some, heart condition. And before you know it, a lot of men and also women give up because there's demand from everywhere. When I realized that I cannot meet the needs of everyone, I decided to change my ways. I cannot be the Lord and Savior of everyone. No. So I made a decision and do the ones you can do, and the ones that you cannot do, leave it. And so these days, they have come to understand with me that I also have a family of my own, and I truly, and also have other needs, obligation around the church. Church people also have needs they expect you to meet. Many people are looking up to you from the village home. Everyone is also looking up to you. And I tell you the truth, if you're not careful in handling how to meet all this so much desire from people, you're going to put yourself in a tight corner that one day might, be dangerous to your health. You can make do without the ice cream sometimes. This is the when you go out to the eatery, you discover that you can't even come out of that place without spending 20,000, 10,000. Recently, we went out somewhere, and before you can, as an individual, get a particular portion of food, meal, and then a drink, it would have cost so much fortune. Which, of course, would have been better if it's okay to be used in the home front to prepare certain delicacy. Another thing that is not necessarily a need at Christmas is desiring from every family member to travel home for Christmas. All right? And so the cost of transporting, if you're going by air, the cost of getting your tickets. If you're going by road, wow, the cost. And then going back home is so expensive to leave at home just because you want to go and see one or two persons. If it's not very, very important, we categorize it as what? Wants. You can do without that external pressure, and just go for the wants. The wise man should be able to choose by himself to do what they know should be or is of a necessity at the moment. Do not trying to satisfy everyone, by putting in something. It's trying to meet wants, and it's not wise. There is no wisdom doing that. Go for satisfying what is called need. And so many people have asked for one thing or the other, but before God, these things are all wants, and you wonder why God has not answered. God has not answered because it's not a need. He said he will meet us at the point of our need and not at the point of all our wants. If it's not time for you, to acquire that thing and you keep insisting on having it, by the time you have it, it might cost you a bigger problem than you ever thought about. So we think and we tell people, please always go for, meeting needs, not wants. And your daughter was telling me she need an extra earrings, she need an extra this. You mentioned too, she need an extra wristwatch. And I told her, you already have a wristwatch, we can get this and that. There's no need to have the extras. Maybe after this Christmas period, an extra money comes, then you can have these other ones that are wants. They are not need. Right now, baby, we are only going to go for the need and not the wants, and that does it. So every wise, the Bible calls us wise master builder, wise planner, you should always go for the what? Needs. What do you need? Let's look at Bible example of people that chose to go for needs and they succeeded. There's a man that said, I will wait until my change come. I think it's Job or someone like that. I will wait until my change come. Even though the fig tree refused to blossom, I will wait. He has already made his decision that he's not going to go for wants, but rather he is going to go for, the most important. Even though I'm pressed on all sides, I still desire, I still will wait until my blessing come. And so I want to encourage us without mixing words. Let's choose always to go for what we profit at the moment. Don't put yourself in a tight corner of trying to please people. No, it's not necessary. The necessary thing and the most important thing to do is for you to put yourself in a position whereby you do what you can do is very important. And then leave the rest for God, all right, to handle for you. It's very, very expedient and it's very, very important. So we say to you, always go for what? Meeting of your needs and not the wants. Christmas has come. Do not allow yourself to be carried away trying to meet all the wants. People, if you can afford it, it's fine. It's Christmas, they'll put rules and regulations. I remember when we were much younger growing up. Wow, it's perfect. They have it. But at Christmas, my father will buy, there is a new bedspread, the house, at Christmas, everybody will have some new clothes, new shoes, a lot of things, preparing for Christmas. But what have changed to some extent today? And so, it is expected, we say always, that people should learn to go for what is needed and not what is a want. I'm telling you, someone wants to wear, I have to get this kind of bun short, I have to get this kind of this, I have to get this kind, I have to be trendy like this in quote because all my friends. If it's because all your friends are trendy like that in quote, then you're going to be, desiring for want, not desires. If you cannot afford it, remove your mind from getting it. Yes. Wanting so many things have landed a lot of young ladies into trouble. They are not working or they are working, they cannot afford anything. So they now go out with men in the name of friendship that they are not so used to. Before you know what's happened, they've used them as sacrifice. They've used them as sacrifice. Some have lost their life in that manner. And so we encourage people, please endeavor to always go for what is needful. Nations of the earth that live doing the nitty-gritty and they are chasing. Example, leadership sometimes have missed it. They try to get what is not important and not looking at the need of the people for the moment. And so they learned they are doing things wrongly, and they've put the country in a place whereby they are pressed and are into one trouble or the other. The nation has become, a kind of what is into a whole lot of problem. Why? Because our word, like I said, or the leadership have got it wrong. What's the need buying extra cars, changing extra home for, senators and with the government, those that are working, local government, this and everything, and then the people of the nation are hungry, and then they are not concerned about it. They are busy trying to meet wants. Everyone wants to have a private jet. Is it a need or a want? The wants an example in the church. God is particular and concerned about people in the church that are hungry. People that need to be refocused so that they can work with their hands. When a nation begins to look away from what is required and doing what is wrong, there is a problem. A man sees that his children, cannot afford a particular thing. The man, just goes out to go begin to buy extra cars that he doesn't need. He doesn't need it. But there is his own biological children that have one need or the other. But he chooses to go and buy, the most expensive shoes to the detriment of, what the children will need. It's an aberration. It's wrong. It's not right. It's not right. And so we say, of a necessity, do the right thing, and then you will get the desired result. Families come together for meetings. Couple come together for meeting and know what you need. What do you need? Only go for what you need, even at this season, even in Christmas. Do not go for what you want. You will end up not using that thing because it's not a need. You will end up not using that thing because it's not a need. You go for what you know is necessarily, a need. And you will not be disappointed. All right? You will not be disappointed. If you go for your need and not just the want, you will smile. And God will bring out something out of that need that you have gotten. Example, making sure there is food, good food to eat at home is a need. Good water to drink at home is a need. But all the extra drinks, I tell you, might not necessarily be a need. It might just be a want. I was going out somewhere and the money I had was short. And then my little girl said we should buy some drinks. And I told her, this money will not get me all the drinks I want. I'd rather use the money to get some fruits. And I began to explain to her that fruits are better and can give you, some nutrients in the body than even the drink. And the truth of the matter is because I don't have all the money to buy the drink. And when I bought the fruits instead of the wants, that is the drink. The days has passed and we are okay and fine. There's no quarrel about buying of the drink or the other. The most important thing is that there was or there is, needs that is being satisfied. And so we thank God for families that can understand. Yeah, and go every time for the needs. All right? Go for the need. And as you do so, I'm telling you the truth, you'll not miss it. Whatever you are doing at this festive period, please think about January is coming. If you spend all your monies purchasing only the needs or the wants, going to buy all the excessive extras, except you have the means to do so, I'm telling you the truth, when it comes to January, Don't begin to fight with your spouse. Don't begin to yell at the children. Don't begin to make them feel as if they are just unreasonable. You're going to meet with, situation that you do not really appreciate or want to. Why? Because your judgment has become wrong because of the decision you deliberately took. If you have so much clothing, why go for extra clothing? I know humans will always want, but if you know you can make do or do without that clothes, please, you can do without it and channel the money to something else that will be more profitable. All right. So please do not allow for trouble in your home. My concern is for joy. Sit down with your spouse. Make a budget out of what you have. Go for it and have fun. As you do so, you'll be glad that you did. I tell you the truth, I lie not. People just begin to have problems because they refuse to plan. Yesterday we looked at the life of Joseph in Egypt, being the first prime minister. And you know the funniest part? Because he was the first prime minister, all right? I think he was the first prime minister in Egypt, isn't it? So at the end of the day, he merited that office because he gave right judgments. They had to do the right thing for Egypt to work better than the other nations around it. God gave right judgments because he has the right mindset. That is to King Solomon. When you have the right mindset, God gives you, you understand, the right judgments to take. And I'm telling you the truth, it gives you wisdom. And when you apply wisdom, you get the right result. When families sit down, I find it difficult, and I don't really appreciate it, but I don't have a say. When family cannot sit down with your God-given spouse and plan ahead. Write out everything, take a biro, and then strike out things that are not needs. Strike them out. And the other spouse should be able to understand. And as you are doing it as a man or a woman, make your other spouse understand why you are doing that. Now, you're not doing that because you hate them. You are doing that because you want to put some sanity in the home. No matter what, don't take everything as though it must be your own way. Use sense. Look for intelligent minds and work together. When you set your goals, choose the ones that are very necessary. Set your goals, choose the ones that are very necessary. When you do so, you will not fall, you will not hit the rock. I bet you, and I tell you the truth. When you do the right thing, you will not fall, you will not hit the rock. When you do the right thing, you won't fall, you will not hit the rock. So like we said earlier, going back to our definition, needs are those things you can barely do without in the house. It is because those things are very, very essential and very important rather than just desirable. They are very important. It's not because you desire it. Oh, I see a new shoe, I desire it, I want to wear it. Oh, I see a new car, I desire it, I want to buy it. Oh, I see that, this and that, I desire it. Oh, somebody's wearing a particular dress, it will be fine on my baby, I just want. Those are flimsy reasons why we always go for the wants. You don't go for something because you saw someone having it. You go for something because you have desire for it. All right? Once you get it because you want to feel good. And after that moment, you just put it on. You discover that joy, that excitement is no longer there. It's no longer there. So you go for what is working. You go for what is need for the moment. Go for the in thing. Go for what is not perishable. Go for what the family needs that can make them happy. Anyone that is married and is not thinking about the joy of his home is not serious. Don't think about the joy of yourself all alone. Think about the joy of your spouse. Think about the joy of your spouse. Think about the joy of your spouse. It's very necessary. It's very, very important. A man comes in and said, I want an extra child. Meanwhile, he already has 6 children. 6 children, I mean 6 children. And the wife is saying, no, let us, see how we can bring up this and make them responsible. They will go to good school, blah, blah, blah. And it became a problem. The woman says no, the man insists, and it became a problem. What do you need the extras from? The ones you have, you can give them the best of training, you have made it. You have made it, I tell you. You don't need anything extras. Yeah, you don't need anything extras. So go for what is more important. That's the difference between, craving for needs instead, or craving for wants instead of needs. Remember from where we started, God will always grant the need of our hearts. He will only grant our heart desires, and He will bring them to pass. So use your God-given wisdom, like I said, and go for what is. I remember when Mordecai, we asked Esther for something. He said, for right now, this is the need for the children of Israel. This is the need. You have to go to the king. And said, no, I cannot. And she was thinking about, her own wants. Her own is that, is for me. I cannot go to the king. So you see, sometimes to meet the needs, you have to make the extra sacrifice. But thank God, later we realized it. And it became salvation to the entire nation, the people of God, as Shushan. So let us always go and crave for the need. You don't need this, don't buy it. Save the money if it's possible. Invest it, let it bring about profiting. And when it brings about profiting, you can now use it for something else. Now I'm sure by the grace of God, I've been able to put down one word for you this evening. And I want to say, at Christmas, stay wise. Even to go for photo shots are very, very expensive. If you cannot afford to go for photo shots, use your phone. Keep the memory alive. Whenever you feel like, you can go and print it out. You don't have to do the extras. If you can afford to eat all at Christmas, do. But don't allow yourself to go into, what do I call it now? Into a situation of going into a situation whereby you now begin to be in debts as year 2025 or the next year unfolds. Let's be wise in our decision making. And I want to say God bless you as you do so. Go for the need, for the moment. And please sacrifice for that which is but a want. You can always, change it as time goes on. God bless you and see you soon as I come back live. And I want to appeal to you, go on back to my channel, watch all the videos. You will not be disappointed. Watch the live. There's always something to pick there. And then my shorts are sweet. You will not regret doing that. God bless you as you do so. Thank you. All right.